Okay, I'm going to tell you what happened with the guy. This was 10 years ago. The guy was a little bit younger than me. He saw me at a restaurant. He was there with his friends. I was there with my friends. He was coming on strong, but it was really endearing. And as I talked to him, I realized, like, okay, he's smart, he's clever. Okay, let's see what's going on. He asked me out, and I was like, okay, really not sure about this. But we had a nice time. And I realized that this character, such character, and such a good person, I really admire those qualities are everything to me. But I also noticed body odor. And I said to myself, well, it's a first date. Like, the guy seems really great. So I said, well, let me just go out with him a second date just to see, maybe he was nervous. Second date comes along. Amazing date. Fun, funny, clever, interesting, smart, everything. But the body odor is still there. And by this time, I'm starting to think, what do I do? Because the doctor in me knows that body odor doesn't always mean that someone's not clean. Sometimes it can mean an underlying medical condition or just something else. Also, body odor can change, right? You can't always change someone's personality. So I'm like, what do I do? So I'm like, I'm going to go on a third date. Let's just keep our fingers crossed. So I go out on the third date. Amazing time. But body odor. We're talking just generalized body odor. He just stank. And it looked like he got dressed for the dates and got ready for the dates. His hair looked like it was freshly done. Like he looked like he'd gotten ready for the dates, but he didn't smell good. So I thought about it and I was like, okay, what am I going to do here? And I decided I didn't want to let this opportunity with someone who I really thought was a great person. I didn't want this to go by for something like body odor, which in many cases can be changed. So I said, all right, well, I'm going to tell him. Now, what I chose to do, I called him. And some people say, like my friends at the time were like, oh, you should have done it in person. But I called him. I couldn't face him in person. I didn't have the guts to do that. I called him up and I'm like, hey, so there's something I wanted to chat with you about. He's like, okay. I was like, oh my God, we've been having such a great time. You're really awesome. Da, 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 da. I said, but I just kind of noticed that there's a little bit of an odor. And he was quiet. Now, of course, I don't remember if these were the exact words, but this was the tone. And I said it with love and kindness because I meant that. And I knew this was going to be like, literally, this was going to make it or break it. I mean, I don't even know how I would handle it if somebody told me I had body odor. I'd probably be humiliated, but there was silence. When I say silence, we're talking radio silence. And then he starts kind of laughing nervously. He's like, what do you mean? I was like, well, and then I'm getting nervous because I realize he's nervous. I'm like, just a little bit of body odor. And I just, it was just important for me to tell you. And I'm sure I was being like all girly and like, because I was embarrassed and I wanted him to know that I meant well. And I told him that I meant well. And I really liked being with him. He kind of laughed nervously. There was a couple other like, on his end. And then he quickly got off the phone. And I remember thinking, oh my God. I told my friends afterwards and they were like, Jen, you should have joked about it or you should have done it a different way. You should have just brought him like a care package with soap or something like that. And that's not me. And I don't think that would have necessarily been any better. Some people say I should have done it in person. Maybe, but gosh, it was hard enough to do this on the phone. Long story short is I never heard from him again, really. And that was tough. I hope that he took that with him for the rest of his life. And I hope that it helped him. But yeah, I mean, how do you tell someone that they have body odor? Is there a way to do that? Is there best practices? Write in the comments. Like, what do you think?